Today's episode of Lawsuit in the News, I want to talk about a case I read in the New York Times, which was that over this week, 11 people have been killed by the federal government through their actions in bombing suspected drug boats off the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. And this is part of a campaign that has been ongoing since last year, where a total of 144 people have died so far, where the federal government uses its military capacity to go after suspected drug boats and to blow them up without a hearing, without any court permission, and alleging that this was a national security risk, and for that's the reason why they're blowing up these boats. However, other legal scholars have argued that it's not okay to use military intervention to kill civilians unless there's an imminent risk of death or harm to others. And in this situation, they say that that's not been met because these boats suspected are just delivering drugs. They're not going to go kill anyone necessarily, although the drugs could kill people. So perhaps that's the government's argument. In response to these murders and deaths, some attorneys in other cases have filed lawsuits against the federal government, arguing that essentially this is wrong what the government is doing, killing these people without a court hearing, without a jury trial, essentially just handing down the death penalty immediately, and are seeking damages against the government for these wrongful acts, allegedly. Um, this could be a very interesting case. I think it's also like one of these bellwether cases where this first lawsuit tests whether or not these claims hold merit in court. Of course, this is also having to do with maritime law because this doesn't happen on American soil. This is happening in international waters against plaintiffs or suspects who are not from the United States, and it's the government as well issuing, doing this activity. So we'll see how these lawsuits can play out. They could potentially find themselves in liability, the federal government, for millions of dollars in potential damages if the plaintiffs are successful in their arguments that these deaths were wrong and that at the very least these men should have been given a trial and due process, which they were denied.